Hi, I'm gonna be there in just 1 minute. I need to do my usual thing. I know you can hear me. And yeah, tough day today. I know what I was supposed to do today. I'm sorry that you can't see me. My iPad is charging over here. So I just need to turn on the comments as I usually do. So I'll be there in just a sec. I don't know. I hope you're feeling better than I am. So here we go. Here we are. I know it's Wednesdays and usually we do this only on Thursdays. I'm going to do this tomorrow as well because I honestly just need it. And so I'm taking these 30 minutes that I take every day with you and I'm using them as therapy today. And I don't know how you're feeling and I don't really want to, talk about politics and things like that because, so many things are happening in the world that, the US elections are not more important than what's happening, in Sudan or in Gaza. So, and since I don't want to be, a channel that only talks about that, I'm not going to talk about politics, but I just needed it today. I just needed to have an escape and to have something to look forward to and to just let my brain stop thinking about reality and the world for 10 minutes. And so this is what's happening and I'm going to draw. So for anyone who's new here, hi, my name is Joy and I'm an art jeweler and I'm hosting this club, it's called the Art Break Club because the idea behind it is that every day we take 30 minutes off just to talk about art and craft and everything around it, basically. And this is what we're going to do today. Usually this is something that we do on Thursdays. On Thursdays I learn how to draw and I take you on this journey with me. But as I said 2 minutes ago, I just need it today. So we're going to do it today and then I'm probably going to do it tomorrow as well. Just because, sometimes it's just, you have to do what you need to do. And I really believe in that. So without further ado, let's just go into it and start drawing because it's much better at the moment. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling a bit like shit, like I am, just know you're not alone. And just know also that art is always going to be here for you. Whatever kind of art. If you don't want to draw, you can, do some crochet or play the piano or whatever kind of instrument. Or just do something that makes you feel good. And I think it's very problematic if we just only dive into the stuff we like and forget about the world. But I think for a couple of days it's gonna be fine. So I don't want to talk about that anymore, so let's change the subject and start actually working on this skull. Also I've realized that I've never done the back side of the skull, so it was really flat. I've had some good suggestions in the comment in the last video where I was drawing. I would still like to have some more opinion on Bridgman's full figures because I've heard some of you saying that it's completely useless until you have basic notions of anatomy, and some of you think that it's a very good book for a beginner. So I would like to have insights about that. But other than that, at the moment I'm continuing with the skull. I would really like to do some anatomy, honestly, just because I don't know if I told you this, but I have a degree in chemistry. I wanted to, before becoming a goldsmith, I was going to become a biochemist, and I think that biology, and I mean especially biochemistry, but I think basically that human body, well, not only human body, but the way, sorry, that was my neck, the way atoms and molecules interact to create everything that we know, I think is astounding, honestly. So I think all the muscles and the bones and everything that lets us be who we are as people, I think it's super interesting. So yeah, I really like that. But I don't have any books, so if you have any suggestions, feel free to pop them in the comments. And I'm sorry if I'm gonna, again, yawn a bit. I slept between 1:30 a.m. and 5 this morning because I was anxious. And yeah, so I'm tired now, and I have been working all day for the fair. So anyway, I'm trying to achieve some shading over here. I've been told in one of the comments that as a jeweler, I tend to focus on the details before I focus on the bigger picture. You can see that now. I start this and I relax, and all my anxiety just like melts off me, and I become so tired, which is, you know, good and bad at the same time, because I think it's really good to have something where I can actually feel myself relaxing, you know, my jaw like letting go a bit, and I can feel that the moment I put the pencil on the paper, I do relax. But it's not very nice to be like here in front of you and yawn all the time. I'm gonna find the pencil sharpener, which was here until this morning, and I can't seem to find. But if I use this pencil like this, it's gonna leave like a huge mark everywhere, so I can't really use it. Otherwise I'll continue using my H2, which is a bit hard. I wanted to use this one. I remember using the pencil sharpener, but I can't find it. Yay! Oh, it's it was just here. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, so I'm trying to do a bit of shading under here before I start going into the jawline. I read this in advance so that, you know, because it's in Italian, so I can talk about it with you. And it said that the jaw is one of the parts that is less visible, that the chin is obviously one of the most visible parts, but other than that, obviously there are people with like really wonderfully defined jawbones. That's fine, but usually it depends only on how thin you are, honestly, also on your bone structure. I'm just envious. I live with people who have those kind of jawlines, and I don't, so I'm just a bit envious of that. But I'm doing just a bit of shading because I think it's going to look prettier, and I'm going to be more satisfied with my work. I'm sorry that you see me yawn this much. I honestly am a bit embarrassed about it, but I would really like you to try this and just understand how much better it makes me feel, even if obviously nothing has changed and I'm not doing even anything useful. But you know, it's just so relaxing. It's literally just so relaxing. So I think it's amazing, and I hope you're going to give it a try as well. I'm going to put a bit more shading in the nose because, you know, it's inside. You can see there is a lot more shading here that I've put over here, and also I haven't done this shading yet. I'm sorry, I hope you're not yawning with me every time that I yawn. I said yesterday that I hoped that I was going to get 6 hours of sleep, which would have been enough, you know, but I didn't. Got like 4, and with 4 hours of sleep and the amount of work that I need to do, I mean, I will be here until I think like 10 o'clock to finish all the stuff that I need to finish for this fair. So I'm sorry. You know, I'm human. Please don't hate me for just yawning. Actually, nobody has been hating on this channel yet, so I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud that I don't have haters. Also, you know, it's kind of not about me, so what's the point? You know, I'm learning to draw, yes, and I really enjoy it, but this is not to do anything with it. It's just a hobby. It's just learning to draw because I would like to learn how to draw. Nothing more, nothing less, which is the beauty of it, I think. Because I don't want to put the stress on myself to, you know, want to like sell my drawings or become a painter or become something like that. I just don't want to. It's so magical to just have the opportunity to sit down and draw for half an hour in my day. It's literally, I think if you're not doing it with me or doing it in general, I don't think you can really understand how relaxing this is. I think to me, it's better than meditation. And not because I don't like meditation. I think it really helps my brain, honestly. It really helps the way I think. But this is just so, you know, I have to actively concentrate to meditate. Well, this is just so much looser. I'm just enjoying it so much more. And I really am enjoying putting all these like shades in. I agree that I tend to put the details in before the rest. And I think this is like it's a professional deformation because, you know, when you're a jeweler, you have to at least imagine all the details because you don't just draw them on top. You can't like erase them. You need to have them all on paper because you need to understand when you're going to do them. Sometimes you do not all of them, but you do a lot of details before you do like before you see the end product, you know. So it's absolutely true that I tend to concentrate on the details before I have an end product. But still, it's what I'd like. So at the end of the day, it's fine. Whatever way, it's fine. I realize at this point you can see that this is going underneath here. So, and instead I got them like arriving at the same point. So I'm going to turn this up slightly. Also, I don't think you can see it, but the paper that I'm using is like so dirty because of all, you know, the pencil, the very soft pencil that I've been using. Also, I think this is has a bit more of an arch. You know, there's like high snatched cheekbones. You know, this is just, you see how this part here is like half roundish kind of, and it gets to approximately, I feel, here, and it's all darker with the darkest point here at basically the temple, and it stops where the ear goes, which is somewhere around here, because, you know, the ear's like halfway. So the ear's going to go somewhere here. I think that looks kind of fine. I would really like to understand, you know, the shading that they do really close to the lines. I think that's so cool, but that's also like not me at all, because I told you that I tend to have like a quite nervous hand, as you can see. And so, you know, one of the other things that I would like to learn while I learn is, you know, how to trace those beautiful harmonic lines with just, you know, your hand. Just, you know, one small swoosh of your hand is just so, I don't know, I just love watching it, so I would like to do it, to learn how to do it. This is the inside of the nose, which is a bit lighter than the side here, or also this side here. So maybe I should light it up a little bit. Also, I must admit, I really like using like this part of the pencil. I know it's a very like cheap, not super interesting and kind of eraser, but I just like it. So I think we're kind of done here. I don't think you can see it, but my pinky is like black now. But yeah, maybe this part, no, but actually it's quite harsh over here. It's harsher than I did it. So I'm going to make this even harsher. I must admit, I'm a big fan of really harsh lines and, you know, very rigid kind of lines. So I think this line is a bit too harsh though. It should have been, I love like smudging. Feels like I'm putting like eyeshadow on, which honestly I have, it's not like I've never done it, but I've never been good at it. I would just put my finger on it and, you know, not do something well done, or that would improve my look in any way. But still fun, again. Another one of those things. Also, I really love putting, you know, lights in. Like with these kind of pencils, you can just redraw them. I mean, you have all this pencil, and then you just like, you touch it. You touch it in with that pencil, which is not the pencil, but it, you know, it looks like a pencil, but it has an eraser in it. I don't know how it's called, not mine. I never bought one. I just found it in this workshop because I share it with a mechanical engineer who loves those kind of things. So anyway, let's start with the jawline. So I think, what should I do? I'll do it like this. I don't think you really care to see like these things of the nose. So it's made of two parts. The whole part, this part, it's another third of the face. So we have 1/3 that goes from the eyes to the end of the nose, and 1/3 that goes from the eyes to the part here of the head. And then we have the other third that goes from the end of the nose to the chin. So this is the third, and we have this part that's A, which is the superior part, which is basically like the teeth. And then we have the proper jaw, which is this part. I'm going to start with the teeth, and I'm going to draw them on the side as I did with the other ones, just to understand like kind of the shape or the perspective. So again, I already did it wrong. Every time, this is obviously a very like beginner thing of me, but every time I see something that my brain thinks is like straight, I draw it straight, while this is not straight. I mean, you can see that compared to the page, this is at an angle. And it should be, because it has a perspective, so it should be at an angle, but my brain, like the first thing that my brain sees is not that angle. For some reason. I mean, the reason is quite obvious, and it's because I don't have like expertise, and I haven't done this for a while. So it's, you know, it's just the skills that you acquire with time and practice and learning to see stuff in that way, which I'm looking forward to. And it's what practice is all about, making things easier over time. And having learned another, creative technique, like that, for me, it's obviously goldsmithing. I know what to expect regarding, how I'm going to feel about stuff and how stuff is going to improve for me. Maybe I was more like, I had more sensitivity in my hands regarding goldsmithing. I feel like I have a really above the usual kind of sensitivity to metals and how they bend and they break. I feel like I'm quite good at that. So probably I don't have the same thing with a pencil, and that's absolutely fine. But I know how much fun it's going to be to see these drawings in like even 2 or 3 months and see how much I have improved. Because even if I'm never going to be Picasso, but still I'm going to improve, and that's all that matters. So I'm drawing these lines just so you can see them here. These are all parallel, so these are parallel and these are parallel, and they're going to be parallel with the teeth as well. And this is parallel to this one on top. So I'm trying to do the same thing here. I'm not sure that I managed to do it. I think maybe this one is not. Yeah, that's better. I feel like that wasn't actually bending enough, it was too straight still. But now I feel like that's a bit better. I need this to go down here, and those are straight, I feel like. Yeah, they are. And we have the same thing that that goes around for the teeth. So I feel like that's kind of good-ish. It's not good, but it's good-ish. It's not like completely terrible. And that's going to be in the shadows. Technically it's going to be inside the skull, so we're not really going to see it, but this part is going to be a bit more shadowy than the rest of it, just to understand it, and this part is going to have a bit of shadowing. Here comes my nervous hands. You don't know how good I'm feeling just because I'm doing this, and I really need this. I'm gonna do it tomorrow as well. And it's fine to understand when you need something and do it just because you need it. It's one of the nice things of deciding for yourself. Actually, I wanted to say that's one of the nice things of art, that you just, sometimes you just know that you need it. And you can just pick it up even if you're, I don't know, standing in line, doing something else. There's always a little bit of time to just do a sketch, do something, Take some time for yourself in your mind without thinking about, what's happening in the world or what's happening in your life or all the things that are stressing us out every day, every moment. Anyway, sorry, I didn't want to become depressed or depressing. But I would like to say that I think it's wider than what they did. It's a lot wider, I'm now realizing. But I think it makes sense. So I'm just going to try and draw it here, because it's 5 to 7, so I won't have time to draw the chin as well, which is what I'm going to do tomorrow. And then I would really like to do this, you know, anatomical parts. I can do that, you know, we're going to do that. And you can do that as well, because we just can. This is so dirty. It's basically like the same color of the rest of the skull. So anyway, going on. So let's see. Here it starts from basically this point here, which is the lowest point of the eye, which in my painting, it's not painting, in my drawing it's around here. So I'm gonna just, you know, draw that line down, and it ends here, which is, you know, between where the eye socket finishes and this part here, which I don't know the name of, starts. So it's going to go down from here around there, which is, yeah, behind this point. I'm feeling like that skeleton, that skull has like broader cheekbones than mine. I feel like mine has not very impressive or, you know, like strong cheekbones, but I'll never know because I'm never going to put flesh on it. So maybe one day when I'll just, you know, learn how to draw so much better, then maybe. Anyway, so from here, this is going to be around 1/3 of the whole thing. So if you just cut it, you know, you can cut it like this. This is all parallel, which I think makes it much easier. You know, this is parallel, so parallel lines. And so if I have my lines, you know, here and here, so I should have another one. If that's 1/3, so the end of my skull should be somewhere around here. I'm gonna, you know, let's do the thingy thing. So from there, so it's around, I need 2 pencils. It's a bit, I think that's a bit long. It's around there, which is fine, you know, it's around there. So 1/3 of that is, it's gonna be, so I have 2/3 that are gonna be around here, and then, you know, approximately, I would say 1/3 is somewhere there, and that's another third, you know. Maybe that's not very 1/3-ish, so I'll put this a bit higher up, and this is gonna go there. Yeah, I think that's more what 1/3 would look like. This is not parallel. I need to make it a bit more. That's better. Okay. So then we have the place where it's bending, which is basically when we have this part of the nose. That's where it's bending. And the other bend is a bit further down here. So now I think we have the whole, we know what's going to happen. So from here, this is going to go up. Yeah, so a part is underneath here, so that's why we can't see it. So here it's going to go up, and then we're going to have this part in front, and then this is going to go much further up actually, because it should, you know, go up here. I think I'm doing a very big kind of set of teeth, very wide mouthed skull, but we're going to see tomorrow when we, you know, when we add the other part. I did that too broad, absolutely too broad, and I think there's something weird about it. Anyway, It's now 7 o'clock, so I need to say goodbye, unfortunately, and put this aside and continue tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, and usually this is what we do on Thursday. Again, I'm happy that I did it today because I really need it. And whether you're going through something in your personal life, you're stressed like me because of the world, or you just wanted a break, I think that taking 30 minutes for yourself and just doing something creative, whatever it is, even if it's baking cupcakes or decorating cupcakes, I think you should absolutely do it, because I came in here and I was like really, really down and really stressed, and now I'm looking at my skull and I feel like I did something pretty wrong with it, but I'm feeling so much better. I know what I did wrong. This needs to go down like that. Sorry, now I have a hiccup. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and just know that art is always going to be there for you, and I think it's very important to have something that's always there for us. So I hope you have a lovely evening, and I'll see you tomorrow when we'll go on with this drawing, I promise.